Hi, my name is Jill Wilson. I'm a third-year undergraduate here at the University of Georgia, and this is my poster for the Georgia Undergraduate Research Conference. So we know many plants are flowering earlier in the year because of climate change, especially in alpine species. But most of this is based on short-term observational data. Therefore, we used long-term herbarium records and compared them to observational data for an alpine plant. We asked the following questions in our research. Can using herbarium samples help us understand phenological shifts in flowering of alpine plants? And can herbarium samples represent phenological shifts better than observational data? So I analyzed over 1,200 photographed herbarium samples like this one here of the alpine plant species Silene acaulis, which is this photo. So we used collection date as an estimate of flowering time and pulled weather data from nearby stations. We estimated phenological sensitivity as the change in flowering time is something called growing degree days, which are a measure of temperature accumulation. We also directly observed flowering time at 4 sites in Newett Ridge, Colorado from 2016 to 2021 to compare better to these herbarium records. So when we analyzed our herbarium data, we found that there was a small but significant advance in flowering over the last 150 years. Moreover, we also saw earlier flowering was correlated with warming, as seen by earlier collection date, with an increase in growing degree days. When we analyzed our direct flowering observations, we also saw earlier flowering with more growing degree days. However, when we directly compare sensitivity across these two data sets, we found that herbarium specimens show a minimal response relative to direct observations. So both herbaria and observational data detect advanced phenology in response to warmer temperatures, but herbarium specimens show much more limited responses. So this could be because shorter-term observational data tend to reflect only short-term climate responses, whereas herbarium samples are able to give us a much broader spatial and temporal view. But alternatively, herbaria might underestimate phenological shifts because of spatial, temporal, trait, and collector biases. So some limitations of the study were that climate data was just not available for all of our records, whether it be because of where it was located in higher places in Canada around Nunavut, or if it was predating the 1900s. It was just, you can't find weather stations nearby for those areas or for that time period. So for our future research, instead of doing what we did here with our observational climate data being based on fine scale environmental data, we plan to correlate our observational flowering estimates with broad scale climate data like weather stations. We also plan to gather more observational data outside of Colorado to compare observational studies to the full range of herbaria that we collected. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.